our sister organizations, the SETAs in the sector education and training spaces are here. Everybody involved in education and training, where you can think of, have joined us today. We have the Department of Education here, basic and as well as higher education. We've got the senior leadership of Motheo TVET College, which we are so grateful for this partnership that we have with them to host us, number one, as the Free State Regional Office. Our offices are based at Motheo TVET. We want to say very, very and deeply thank you very much for them once again for that gesture. We have with us also our head office, our acting CEO is with us. On the stage next to me, I'll introduce them. Mr. Matome Madibane is our acting CEO. Can you give him a round of applause? Next to him is the principal of Motheo TVET College, is Professor Putsitsi. Can you give her a round of applause? And obviously we are in the Free State Province. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Mespa Kabane, which is the Senior Manager Director for Skills Development in the Office of the Premier. Can we give her a round of applause? Our program is a bit late. I know they carry very long credentials. They've been around the space. I'm going to spare a bit of time, all protocol observed, with no offense to anyone. I would just like to kick off this program because it's a live stream. It's on YouTube. It's on our Facebook page. It's on a 3DG virtual platform as well. Everyone who can, across the country, wants to follow us today, they are free to do so. We are not going to allow this session for you to have questions and we provide answers at this platform. Because we've got a live stream, nowadays, your organization that comes out tops and has got the best marketing strategies are those that has got good interactive sessions with the comments and questions that students, learners, and everyone across the spectrum is asking on Facebook, is asking on Instagram, is asking on YouTube. So all our questions and comments as sister bodies and stakeholders here, they will be appearing on those live streams. We are encouraging stakeholders to please respond to them there and entertain it, giving education, troubleshooting your problems, even if it is just a student that said, I haven't received my stipend. Let us address it there. Let's give direction. Let's clarify it. For those purposes today, this session, we are just going to clap hands and eat. That's the biggest contribution you will do. Can you clap hands for yourself? Thank you very much. I think the platform is quite relaxed now. Ladies and gentlemen, MESPA has also make an apology to leave us early. We are just going to allow it to open this occasion for us with some opening remarks on behalf of Office of the Premier. MESPA, over to you.
Thank you, Master of Ceremonies. You can see at my age, I'm also being digitally clever. Chairperson of the Board of MICT SETA in absentia, Acting CEO, MICT SETA, Chairperson of the Council, Motheo TVET College in absentia, Principal of Motheo College, officials, management of Motheo, lecturers, teachers from various schools across the province, and the most important stakeholders, which are learners. SMM is present here. All important school stakeholders present, good morning. On behalf of the Free State Provincial Government, I would like to welcome you on this capacity building workshop. Ladies and gentlemen, firstly, I would like us to go back to the drawing board and ask ourselves again. Let's remind ourselves, I want you to think, exactly what is the purpose of career guidance? Let's go back to the basics. What is the purpose? I believe that career guidance is a comprehensive development program designed to assist learners or individuals in making and implementing informed decisions that are educationally and occupationally, meaning career guidance help our learners to make informed educational and occupational choices. So that's how important it is. Ladies and gentlemen, whilst we are going to have a frank discussion on career guidance, we have to take note that careers are changing. That's the reality, whether we like it or not. There are those careers that are outdated now, and new ones are emerging. That's the reality, unfortunately, in our country and at the world as a whole. Therefore, new or different skills are needed to be relevant and to respond to the demands of the fourth industrial revolution, known as 4IR, and the digital transformation era. People, ladies and gentlemen, learners, teachers, management, leadership, the reality is we have to be ready. We have to be ready for the change that is happening in front of us. There are those skills that are outdated. We don't need them anymore. They don't serve any purpose. That's why our learners, they will study, go back home, and not get employment. Let's respond. Let's respond to the situation. Let's get into this scary, fear sometimes comes in. Let's get into that space of this digital. Let's face it and be ready so that our youth can be employable. Ladies and gentlemen, in conclusion, let's ensure that our teachers and learners are equipped with appropriate and modern technology and skills to remain competitive in ever-changing global economy. I'm saying to you, we welcome you, especially MICT SETA acting in the Free State, and the support that I had in your meeting that you are giving our colleges is highly acknowledged. I hope you enjoy the meeting, and the meeting should be very participative, very active. Let's learn, guys. Let's learn so that when you leave here, you know at least one important thing that you're going to implement when you go back home. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Pa. Another round of applause for her. We are so grateful for this partnership with the Office of the Premier in Free State. We as MICT SETA, to all the viewers out there and those that are tuning in to us, we are already in a partnership of sponsoring 50 students through the Office of the Premier and MICT SETA in this province. We have with us also Department of Higher Education and Training, Mr. Kamokela Mashiluane. Can we have an applause for that? Mr. Tabang Makoka was supposed to join MESPA from Office of the Premier. He's still on his way. Can we have an applause for the... We have a Deputy Chief Education Specialist in Curriculum Services here from the Department of Basic Education, Ms. S. Mutaung. M. Vessels. Can we have an applause? There's Ms. Sedinele is also with us. These are the subject advisors for life orientation. We have got another senior education specialist with us in values in education. It's Medi Tekiso. We've got the District Teacher Development Center Manager, Mr. Malihe, also with us. A Deputy Chief Education Specialist and Office Manager is also in our presence, Mr. Melo Kobe. And we've got the Deputy Principal of Motheo as well with us, Mr. Nigel Owen. Can we have an applause, Mr. Nigel Owen? Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to give over to the Principal of Motheo to come and welcome us as well in this Career Expo and Capacity Building exercise. I want to present to you the Principal of Motheo, Professor Putsitsi. Professor Putsitsi is a Deputy President of the South African Public Colleges Association. She was appointed as the Principal of Motheo in 2013. The honorary awards that she holds is an Outstanding Leadership Ida Kylen Kare Award that she has received from the Chair Leadership Academy in Texas, United States of America in 2014. She's a Driver for the Change Award. She has received this award by Vision 2013 in the Office of the President of South Africa. She holds an honorary professorship of the Academic Union of Oxford in the United Kingdom. Under her leadership, the college attained the following achievements. They established a maritime academy. The college partnered with the Department of Small Business and Enterprise Agency for the training and funding of community members in the community, and students are interested in becoming business owners. The college introduced an online e-learning system, which I am quite aware of, and we work quite together with each other on that. And the list goes on. There's a lot of honorary doctorate achievements and awards that she holds. Let us bring to the podium the Principal of Motheo with a round of applause, colleagues.
Good morning, everyone. Not in my class. Good morning, everyone. That's better. I'm a teacher by profession. I would like to receive that response. And learners should be able to respond accordingly. To the chairperson of the board of the MICT SETA, the acting CEO, Ntate Madibana, we are really grateful and honored to have you in our midst as an institution. And to the Office of the premier in the persona of Mespa Kabani. We are colleagues from a long time ago. We schooled together at the university. We got married together. We did all sorts of things that young people could do. Yes. You see us at this age, guys. We were at some stage at your age and experienced youth. Mr. Brown, the regional manager for MICT SETA, and my colleague, Mr. Nigel Olin, the deputy principal registrar at the college, responsible for student support services and academic affairs. The managers from the college, if you could just stand up, who are in our midst. I know we have the marketing officials, Mr. Mofokeng, who can wave, is the assistant director for marketing and communication. We have our e-learning manager, Mr. Siase Gerard. We have Tate Lame Murubani, our media officer at the college. At the back there is the owner of this place. Mr. Monoko, you can see by the posture, yeah? When it's your house, you stand like, you want everybody to see and hear that I'm in the house. Mr. Monoko, Tsepo Monoko is the acting campus manager of Hillside View Campus, which is our engineering campus. I have my office manager. I know he could be outside. Mr. Makai, who is managing the logistics and supporting Mr. Brown for this event. Let me also recognize our SRC president, Hlonolo Fatsolemao. I would like you to stand here for young people to see you. She's studying engineering at this campus as our SRC president. Thank you, Hlonolo Fatso. Let me also recognize my colleagues in the Free State Department of Education in your different portfolios. I salute you, colleagues. I know the kind of work and input that you make in the education of our young people. Let me also salute colleagues at various SETAs, inclusive of the mighty MICT SETA. I would say I salute you, colleagues. Also, you are responsible for the skills development and making sure that you skill the workforce of this country. I also want to recognize other stakeholders that are in our midst, and all protocol is observed. But most importantly, let me recognize our future, the young people who come from our neighboring schools, and their teachers, teachers who make things happen in the classroom and bring life out of us. Who can imagine the work that the teacher does to hold the pen for the first time and make you write and realize your potential? Colleagues, we salute you entirely. From my position as a teacher, you can be a principal, but my minister would say you are utisho mkhulu. You are just but a senior teacher by all means. We really appreciate the work that you are doing. Let me come to my short speech. I'm not as computer literate as Mespa is. I'm still belonging to the old school of thought. I have my gadget with me, but I preferred to talk to my paper. A Career Expo is an event where employers, community partners, professionals meet prospective job seekers. It could be in the form of interns, it could be in the form of young people or learners from schools or volunteers. This is where we share information about careers in high demand and possible employment opportunities. So young people today, You are not going to sit like you are watching a tennis match. This is where you gather as much information as possible and learn from this event. You are quite advantaged to be in an event of this nature, where you are afforded an opportunity to engage at this level and get information as much as possible. I used to say to my children, if you don't decide now as to what you want to be in the future, other children will decide for you. As you are queuing up at an institution of higher learning, ready for registration, and in the queue, people are asking each other, what are you here for? And everybody says, I'm here for teaching. You were there for something else. But because you don't know exactly what you are trying to see happening in your life, you end up choosing what other people choose. So make a decision now, but an informed decision, and utilize platforms of this nature to equip yourself. We as TVET colleges are amongst institutions in the higher education sector that are placed to make sure that we create a conducive environment for skills development to happen. TVET colleges, by their nature, are there to make sure that we generate interest and develop skills for the economy of this country to be vibrant and receiving skilled and capable workforce. For the past years, we've been talking about fourth industrial revolution, the artificial intelligence, people raising all sorts of issues and terms and throwing, words for you to consider. And in some cases, you'd be very scared that where do I fit in this picture? When people start talking artificial intelligence, it has been taking a center stage. And issues of automation and digitization of our teaching and learning spaces. But where do we fit as people? Are these going to replace our jobs? Some people would say robots would take over and you lose your jobs. Is it true? Is it going to be like that? To me, as an individual, I believe this is an opportunity for enhancement. And MICT SETA plays a critical role with other SETAs to make sure that the nation, the entire country is skilled to be able to embrace fourth industrial revolution. You are better placed to ensure that you support, you resource and enable all sectors. In the bank, we need IT. In the classroom, we need IT. At home, you need technology. Who is not using technology nowadays? It is not a replacement of our jobs. It is an enhancement of who we are. So today, guys, as learners, it is upon you to learn as much as possible. Every stage that I take, I market my institution to the maximum. This college, it is a multi-award winning institution. It received many international awards because of its contribution in the skills development sector. We are offering a program on aviation. If you want to be an aircraft mechanic, you are better placed to join this institution and register at this very campus. At the back there we have a workshop where we have a small aeroplane. The college has a Cessna. It is our toy. We play on it to teach learners on how to repair aeroplanes. 5 meters away from this campus, we have a beautiful campus which is training artisans. It is a campus built for us by Services SETA. There, that is where MICT SETA will play a key role in our 16 labs CEO, where we are establishing an ICT hub. That is where Mr. Sease would be with the robotics and whatever Internet of Things and all sorts of programs that young people would want to do for them to be able to compete fairly in the labor market. We are not just an institution. We also have got a Center for Entrepreneurship and Rapid Incubator to develop people who have a business acumen. People who want to become business owners. I can see our former lecturer in front here, who is a business owner. She can attest to that. There we've got young people who have opened businesses who are doing robotics there. So as you go through our programs, we are offering an NCV for IT at this college. As you go through our programs, we take you through for you either become a business owner, you either proceed into the labor market and seek for a job relevant to your qualifications. I know with young people when they think universities. You don't know what you are missing. At home, when your parents have to fix an electricity, who is being called? An electrician. Where did that person study? At a university? A big no-no. At a TVET college. That person is an engineer. That person studied electrical engineering at Motheo TVET College. The very clothes that you are wearing today, who has made them? It's a fashion designer and clothing production graduate from a TVET college. A beautician, men and women go for manicure, pedicure these days. Who is doing that? Is it a graduate from a university? No. And those people are the people who are making quick and big bucks. With you, with a BSc so-and-so, you wait until Jesus Christ comes. And you can't get an employment because all of us have got degrees. I'm making things easier for you. Move around the stations and look at what institutions are offering. And learn as much as possible. With these few words, let me welcome you to our college and enjoy this event. Thank you, Program Director. I hope I didn't waste your time.
Thank you very much, Professor. Another round of applause for the Prof. Ladies and gentlemen, the learners here, with the next speaker is the acting CEO of MICT SETA. My boss, Mr. Matome Madibane, has been around. He's actually, by virtue of his appointment, his actual appointment is the Senior Manager, Human Resource Management in the organization. But since the resignation of our CEO last year, he has been taking over the position in an acting capacity. He has been steering the ship up to now very well. He has brought stability in the organization and the extension of programs of this nature. Don't differ with Mr. Maribana in a management meeting on human resource issues. He'll quickly put down the head of acting CEO and become a specialist with you in HR and remove your facts from yourself. Mr. Maribana, thank you very much for coming to Free State. When you look at these beautiful tables, when you look at the job I've done, please tell the people why someone in Free State don't deserve a performance bonus. Welcome to the podium, Mr. Mariban. Ladies and gentlemen, our acting CEO.
Thanks very much, everyone. Indeed, it's a beautiful morning. The tables are indeed looking beautiful. And once more, let me take this opportunity to greet everyone. Can I say in the mighty name of Jesus? Amen. But can I ask you to give a round of applause to our learners, those who connected virtually and those who are present with us. Why that is because if it wasn't for them, there won't be any collaboration between MICT SETA and Motheo TVET College. So we're joined by the learners. So let's once more give them a round of applause and motivate them. Motivate them to undertake digital skills as critical and as serious as possible for their careers. Your Googles, your Amazons will look for learners from South Africa. They keep doing that. But they need to make sure that they have all the appropriate digital skills necessary for them to go and participate in those international companies all over the world. We're gathered here today in this hybrid capacity building session, which is involving career development, to demonstrate that organs of the state can join hands and basically complement each other. Obviously, in the interest of collaboratively attaining the fundamental economic and skills development objectives of this beautiful country of ours, and ensure that they defeat the challenges of skills gaps amongst our youth. Distinguished guests, the Department of Higher Education, Science and Innovation, Office of the Premier, and all its subsidiaries, Motheo TVET College, our SETA partners from your services SETA, WNR SETA, Khetha CDS, your CHETA, your FASET, MTN, I learned it's also here represented, dignitaries from various sectors, both private and public, present, broader stakeholders, learners, and colleagues taking part in this very important and empowering hybrid capacity building workshops. I also learned there's a delegation from the Department of Higher Education in the province. Let's give a round of applause for all those who are present. The need, in my view, remains for more collaborations, even across public and private sector, in order for us to better defeat the triple challenges of poverty, unemployment, and inequality. We are still, unfortunately, in a situation where you would find a South African sleeping without any meal. And part of why, as civil servants, we must multiply our effort to ensure that these inequalities which keep rising, including poverty, are alleviated and completely done away with. It's just ensuring that we collaborate as massively as possible. But the private sector must come into the picture because government alone cannot afford to deal with this massive scourge of unemployment, poverty, and inequality. So this Career Expo is taking place as a culmination of an MOU or collaborative partnership entered into barely a year ago between MICT SETA and Motheo TVET College. And give a round of applause for the two entities for having taken this initiative to ensure that something is done. One must indicate, just for everybody to understand, that MICT is a public entity established in terms of the Skills Development Act, and therefore plays a vital role in achieving South Africa's skills development and economic growth objectives within the subsectors of advertising, film, and electronic media, but also electronics, IT, and telecoms. So this partnership between MICT SETA and Motheo TVET College is a great symbol that collaborations can achieve shared total value in enhancing the living conditions and creating sustainable opportunities. It further endorses, I must emphasize, as a collaborative relationship between state organs, our commitment to skills development, but also just within the sector, amidst the rapid changes in technology and high-end skills needed to reverse current challenges our youth are experiencing or are facing. We deliberately entered into a partnership not only to create opportunities, but stimulate innovation and create amongst youth, but also revitalize both township and rural economy. The Department of Higher Education, Science and Innovation under Honorable Dr. Blade Nzimande has made significant strides in providing highly integrated, well-articulated, better responsive and flexible post-school education system for South Africans so that they are adequately prepared for future skills needs and can easily readapt and be suitably reskilled. A number of speakers already have articulated the challenge that we are facing of skills gaps. There's still inertia amongst a lot of our South Africans when it comes to digital related issues, digital literacy, but we need to move completely from that inertia and just have to face the music and ensure that we align ourselves, we ensure that we get properly reskilled, but also to ensure that we change our mindsets. TVET colleges currently, with the current era where we are finding ourselves in, because we're talking short skills, are the most relevant learning institutions that most of our learners should be taking advantage of. We've got a lot of students or graduates who completed degrees. And I'll tell you, most of them are unemployed. It doesn't matter what you're talking about. We advertise the position of an administrator, you get about 1,500 applications. 1,500 applications, you screen through those applications, you find people with BCom degrees, you find people with your BSc in computer science, and all of those. So they need to change the mindset that you need to have a degree in order for you to find employment or to get into sustainable business has got to change, and it must change completely. So this post-school education system should be taken advantage just from your community colleges, your TVETs, and all of those that are available to reskill, but also build or strengthen the capacity of the state as per the National Development Plan. So Free State Province remains the home of MICT SETA, and it's one of the areas where we want to see more impactful initiatives. Programs including pathways and platforms for upskilling and reskilling of youth in their majority. As skills delivery machinery of government, we believe that it is only through collaborations and partnerships that we can break, like I earlier on alluded to, the backbone and sketch of rising poverty and unemployment amongst the critical category of the society, which is our youth. MICT SETA strongly believes that most of the challenges we have as a society could be stemming from wrong career choices, and therefore making it difficult for a lot of graduates to transition easily into gainful employment, and possibilities obviously of becoming entrepreneurship such that they can sustain themselves, but also create opportunities for others. The ability to think beyond being an employee, but being self-sustainable through own innovations comes at the center of what we exist for as MICT SETA. An informed career choice should start early in the life of any learner or child, because it is a life-changing decision that has an overarching impact in transforming our economic landscape as a country, in changing the quality of life and work life, and also in shaping the desired future we all yearn and are hoping for, but also contribute towards addressing the triple challenges that I initially alluded to. Mass production of graduates is good for any country, but it should be in areas or programs that truly respond to priority occupations, or occupations that have been properly researched to be in high demand through our sector skills planning across various sectors. So the future skills is what we should preach, such that we don't continue to compound the challenge that we're facing as a country of high unemployment, which I will tell you it's a ticking time bomb. You can't have a situation where young people in their majority wake up in the morning and don't have anything to do. You just can't have that. It's not sustainable. It's a ticking time bomb for this country, which must address as robustly as possible and as collaboratively as possible, bring all social partners into the picture so that we do away with this rising challenge of this triple related challenge. So to the PSET ecosystem or space, whatever we offer, we must confront ourselves with a basic question of saying, in as much as resources are shrinking, the resources are very limited, I must tell you that, what are the chances that this learner or student we are upskilling will easily and with speed transition to gainful employment or at least become an entrepreneur? And if there are doubts in the response, we must be worried. It must not be done as completely. We mustn't just educate and transfer skills for the sake of acquiring skills. It must not be done at all. What we must do is ensure that we don't compound the current dilemma we are finding ourselves in as a country of mounting inequalities and the related challenges. So what should give us sleepless nights as South Africa is these triple challenges, because the more people are unemployed, the wider the gap between the richer becomes. And you just can't sustain that. You can't have a situation where in townships, young people sleep without any meal, young people continue to be frustrated about what to do, even when they are qualified. So we need to change this and ensure that we reskill them, but also change the mindset of university. And it must start even at a higher level, such that we don't continue to demand university degrees for even your lower level entry positions. It must happen across the entire sector, such that it's even driven by government for the private sector to accommodate learners from your TVET who completed your skills and short program. So we must get into a fresh dialogue and engage in a whole new conversation around innovative ways of transferring and sharing knowledge and skills, such that there's value or return on investment to what we have invested. That is becoming more outcome oriented. So the need to introduce and coordinate career guidance initiatives at the least at secondary school, like it's happening here, through our partners at that phase, to ensure that learners are aware of further appropriate educational opportunities responding to the future of work, such that they can make informed career choices and contribute to the growth of this economy and this country. So it is in our hands as servants of the state to rebuild the reputation and obviously the necessary confidence of our masses. And it will take the necessary drive, it will take time and energy, it needs tenacity and sense of direction, but also sacrifice, sense of purpose and focus further requires recommitment, endurance, courage, and the staying power and determination to eventually achieve and rebuild the required reputation that the public service should actually have. And as learners, you need to find mentors, find people that can take you through and get you to understand what the priorities are, so that you refocus your attention in what is best for this country. Let me take this opportunity through you, Program Director, and wish everyone a fruitful hybrid capacity workshop and career expo. Further wish you constructive engagements, even online, and deliberations that were such that we truly impact, shape, and add value in the economic reconstruction and recovery planning initiatives for the better good of South Africa and all people who live in it. Thanks very much, Program Director, and appreciate the opportunity.
Thank you very much, Mr. Maribane. Another round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. As I have said in the beginning, that all the engagements, the interaction that you want to do with all this, what was said today from the principal of Motheo and the acting CEO, please go to our virtual platforms, sponsor your comments and your questions there. Our marketing teams will pick it up and we will compile after this. Those that are relevant for the SETAs that was here today will send to you. Department of Basic Education will send you yours, and all other stakeholders that is here. CEO, we have also invited here our own training providers. They are all here. They are also in the exhibition halls. They are also welcome. Once more, thank you very much for that encouraging words. Every time the CEO comes to Free State, you can see he's very relaxed. He loves it and enjoys it here. I love that approach. Ladies and gentlemen, our program is going well, very fine now. We are going to give to the Department of Higher Education and Training, Mr. Kamogele Mashilwane from the Khetha Career Development Services to come and address us. Can we give him a round of applause as he comes?
All right. Good morning, everybody. Are you guys all right? You don't sound it. If you don't match me, I am not convinced. Good morning, everybody. Right, now I'm convinced. Right. Good morning to the delegates on stage, the acting CEO of the MICT SETA, the Office of the Premier, and the college principal. Right. So I believe that everybody in this room, those joining us virtually, we are making decisions all the time. You are building your life, you are building your career through the choices that you are making. Is that correct? Right. So if you are not convinced, we can have a discussion after the session, and then you'll tell me how you woke up, how you got dressed, how you got into transport that got you here without making active decisions, right? So as Career Development Services Khetha, that is what we want to do. We want to partner with you in the choices that you are making regarding your career, right? So when you chose your subjects for the learners, that was a career decision that we want to be part of. When you are going to choose the institution, the qualification that you are going to do, are you going to go for a learnership? Do you want to be an entrepreneur? Whatever the decision that you want to make, we want to partner with you, right? So this is what Khetha Career Development Services, this is what we do, right? So we offer free comprehensive career development information for you, all right? So that's what you do. You contact us. We have a free number. You send us a call back. If you don't have any airtime, send us a call back. We call you back. The advisors that we have speak all South African official languages. That is important so that you are able to express yourself fully. All right, learners? So if you are not comfortable with English, you can say to us, please stop, say, can I have somebody who speaks? And then you mention the language, and then we'll have an advisor who speaks that language so that you can fully express yourself, explain to me where you want to go. And then my job is to make sure that the basket of choices that you are now going to select from is as wide as possible. Do you understand? Great. So for our educators, we are going to meet in the second session so that we build that capacity, so that when we come to our learners, our beneficiaries, we come with baskets full of careers, new and interesting future-led careers. We are going to project and say, in the future, where do we see the opportunities? What do we need to be careful of now to prevent employability or to increase our employability or the employability of our learners? All right? I'm excited to join you for the second session. We are going to have a lively, interactive session. Thank you, Program Director.
Thank you very much. That was short and sweet. Another applause. Let us give to the student representative chairperson, the president of Motheo TVET, to come and say a few words on behalf of students for us. Give her a round of applause.
I'll start first by greeting our mother, the principal of this college, Prof. MDM Putsisi, the deputy principal, Mr. Nigel Olin, the college management present here today. Let me also extend my warm greetings to the program director, the regional manager, the director, the acting CEO of MICT SETA, CIO in the office of the premier, teachers from respective schools, and our lovely students, all protocol observed. Program Director, let me start by thanking to have been given this opportunity to stand here and be the voice of students. Being part of this is a great honor indeed. Not all TVET colleges get to experience such prestigious events. As our proof has alluded what Career Expo is and explained the purpose of it and why we are here, I'm not going to dwell much on it, but just to say a few words. To have a Career Expo is to experience and see which opportunities can improve academic performance and which career path would we like to follow. They also increase the likelihood that the students will complete high school and pursue post-secondary education. Career Expo opportunities improve the attitudes of young people and their career possibilities, motivating them to persevere. I also want to explain the mandate of MICT SETA at the TVET sector for those that doesn't know or understand, because I believe most of us know SETA as a funding organization. But nonetheless, MICT SETA is a skills development institution to generate, facilitate, and accelerate the process of quality skills development in all levels in their sector. They play a fundamental role in achieving South Africa's skills development and economic growth with the subsectors, and also promote the delivery of education, training, and development, which is the core business of why we are here at our respective institutions. We also have two sectors, which is the TVET sector and the universities. So as the TVET sector, we need to be proud of being in our colleges because there's a lot of opportunities. We also need to put ourselves apart. By that, I mean, people need to see that we are different and special than the ones in the universities, because we are well equipped in terms of education, because we also have practicals. We provide skills that are not offered at universities. By that, I mean, if you're a student from varsity in the engineering field, if you are asked to dismantle maybe an engine, you will go first to refer to the manual. But if you take a student from a TVET sector, they will do it with their eyes closed, because that's what we specialize in. As I conclude, Motheo TVET College is a gateway to employability, and we want our students to be employable. And as the Student Representative Council, I'd like to see more involvement in SETA in our institutions. These opportunities are offered, and I want them to be shared with our students from pre-entry to exit level. To be part of the SETA in our educations, we also need SETA to come to our inductions so that they can give our students more information about them, and also to monitor the development of our students in ensuring we have good future leaders. To you learners, let's not take this opportunity for granted and make use of it as a submarine.
Very powerful. Another applause. She even forgot her protection. Ladies and gentlemen, we are in Bloemfontein, the south campus of Motheo TVET on the Hillside side. For those who want to tune in on the virtual platform, All other activities will be outside in the marquees. Ladies and gentlemen, can you carry him to here with a round of applause?
The chairperson of the council of the MICT SETA, the acting CEO of the MICT SETA, Mr. Matabane, the principal of Motheo TVET College, Prof. Putsitsi, president of the SRC for Motheo TVET College, Merlemau, our officials from the Department of Higher Education, our officials that is serving at Department of Basic Education here in the Free State, our director that have just left us now from the office of the Premier, teachers from our neighboring schools, our guest of honor, our students of the neighboring schools. Program director, it gives me great honor to do the vote of thanks. I want to extend vote of thanks to Ms. Pa for the excellent opening remarks that she was making from the office of the Premier. I think, ma'am, in your absence, you have given us a view of the skills gap that are here in the Free State within our province, and you have impressed in our hearts as different stakeholders and as teachers as well as students in what direction we need to go in this particular gathering. We also want to thank you, Prof. Putsitsi, for your warm advice, words of advice. I think you have opened all our eyes that the university is not always the right way to go, that the TVET colleges has a specific place to play within the sector. And you are making us aware, Prof, that TVET colleges in the rest of the world are playing a much more critical role. And you are challenging our perceptions about TVET colleges in South Africa. Thank you so much. We also want to thank the acting CEO, Mr. Matabane, for your words and your message to us as delegates in this particular workshop. I think you are talking about from your SETA perspective, and you are impressing that we need to go on with this hybrid focus on the fourth industrial revolution, focus on automation, and the focus on all these latest technologies within South Africa. And I think our students are challenged by your words of address this morning. I also want to thank our officials that are coming from the Department of Higher Education. And you will also then later on, sir, address our students pertaining to career choices. I also just want to thank all other stakeholders, our partners from the MICT SETA, all stakeholders, all owners of small businesses, and that are doing a critical function within your respective areas. The Department of Higher Education, our schools that are here, our educators that are doing a sterling job within our schools, and most importantly, our learners that have attended this beautiful function, Mr. Brown. Thank you so much. In closing, I want to say the following coming from Theodore Roosevelt and I quote it, "Nothing worth having was ever achieved without effort." I urge you that if you are choosing a career within this particular sphere, the fourth industrial revolution, 4IR, the Internet of Things, that if you are going into that particular area, that if you are going to achieve that, that you are going to put a lot of effort in achieving that, to become, that your career becomes a reality. So nothing worth ever having is achieved with effort. Mr. Program Director, thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your contribution to the success of this function. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Deputy Principal, for those nice words of appreciation. Ladies and gentlemen, we have come to an end. There will be a tea break now, where you can, if you look at the back, there are some tables that you can reward yourself with. And after that, our marketing and communications manager is going to take the program further in terms of the real training that will take place. Ms. Tabiso Machikiziza. So from here, ladies and gentlemen, there will be nothing formal anymore. We'll be all walking around and exploring what is on offer for the day, the kids as well. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. This is adjourned. Kabiso, can you please come and help with the corporate gifts? Those that are taking pictures, can you clean your cameras and come and take beautiful pictures, please, of the dignitaries?
Take off my mask. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, can I just have your very brief attention? We'd just like to give, as a token of our appreciation, gifts to our panelists that have joined us today from Motheo TVET College. It's just a pity that from the Premier's office, she obviously had to leave quite expeditedly. But I'm just going to ask the panelists to just come up, and then if we can just give them a round of applause as they walk through the stage. Not now. Not now. I'm trying to actually give out the instructions. So as they walk down the stage, we'll give them a round of applause, one by one. Thanks. Mr. Brown? Correct, but I would like you to assist me. Thank you. Principal, Prof, thank you very much for your delightful address today. We as the MICT SETA are very proud to have a collaborative partnership with Motheo TVET College, and we are looking forward to more engagements of this nature going forward. Thank you. Should I do it myself, Mr. Brown? Okay. And then I'd also like to extend our token of appreciation to Mr. Nigel Orlane. Thank you very much as well for your closing remarks. I think they hit quite home. You looked at various aspects in terms of the fourth industrial revolution, which is quite key. And obviously being the TVET College, how is it that we can ensure that the youth of today are taking up skills within the artisan economy? Thank you very much. And I suppose the lifeblood of this very institution, the SRC president. Thank you as well for your words, for extending the importance rather of ensuring that as youth you become very employable, such that you set yourselves apart, continue to set the standard, such that your peers, as well as those within the community that Hillside operates, are able to then take forth in those. Thank you. You can come up. And from our principal, the Department of Higher Education and Training, the DHET Khetha Career Development Services is a very key department, because they are the ones that actually drive the mandate of ensuring that we provide access to information in terms of skills development, the correct skills choices, and also ensuring that they capacitate career development practitioners to ensure that they are driving the right message within the schools through our life orientation teachers. Kamohelo, we are very honored that you are here with us today. Thank you very much. And I suppose they say last but not least, save the best for last. I would like to acknowledge our acting CEO, Mr. Matume Madibane. He obviously plays quite an integral role in ensuring that as a SETA, we drive the mandate of skills development within our sector, collaborating with our partners, collaborating with the entire PSET education system. Thank you, sir. Continue to lead us. So ladies and gentlemen, as Program Director Mr. Brown had mentioned, we're just going to break for about 15 minutes. Then our session 2 of the program will commence, which is obviously quite geared towards our career development practitioners, our special LO teachers that are here. But I think if you need a comfort break, you are more than welcome to utilize the bathrooms. If you go around the building to the right-hand side, you will find toilets, or rather restrooms, I beg your pardon, both for ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. The meeting is adjourned. I think we will return here at approximately, let's make it 11:20. And our colleague from the Department of Higher Education and Training will be driving that program. Thanks, ladies and gentlemen. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Please wear your mask. That thing who wanted to kill us is still around. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. If I may have your attention, thank you so much for your patience. We do really appreciate you. But just by virtue of introduction, I think before I hand over to the Department of Higher Education and Training, who's going to be taking us through this capacity building workshop today. My name is Xabiso Majigiza. I am with the MICT SETA. I am the Marketing and Communications Manager. And we are obviously responsible for ensuring that there is delivery of this very event. And mine really today is very brief. It's basically just to give you an overview in terms of why we are hosting this capacity building workshop and why it's so important. And as you understand, I don't think there's one person in this room that has not been affected by COVID-19. I think it's devastated families, it's devastated individuals, it's devastated industries, it's devastated sectors, it's even, given a shift within our education system and forced us to look at new alternative ways in terms of delivering on our objectives. And basically what this means is that it's by forcing us to do things differently, it's forced us to rethink the way our organizations do things. It's forced us to become more agile and more adaptive. So if organizations are going to now be accelerating in the fourth industrial revolution and utilizing the opportunities that the fourth industrial revolution has presented, it now also ensures or forces that the education system itself needs to then keep up with some of these changes that we find ourselves having to endure. As the SETA, our very mandate is to facilitate skills development within our sector. You've heard a number of our speakers, our principal, our acting CEO, and most importantly, the Premier's office representative from the Skills Development Branch highlight how important it is for us to ensure that we are adept within embracing the fourth industrial revolution. The skills development in itself is a beacon of hope for disenfranchised in the country. Looking at marginalized communities, our acting CEO spoke about addressing the triple challenges, of poverty, inequality, etc. Therefore, skills development is a critical strategy, for transforming our country and also ensuring that our country's youth are able to then contribute to the global economy. Our country's youth, therefore, are faced with huge decisions, which at the age they may not even know who they are, what their aptitudes are. They may not have fully understood themselves, and now having to put such a great responsibility upon themselves to choose the correct careers does also become a challenge, but not a challenge that we cannot address through our life and orientation teachers. Our teachers play a very critical role in being able to guide learners in the right path. At the same time, our life orientation teachers also need to be capacitated and empowered with the correct skills such that they can then be able to impart those to our learners. It is under this backdrop that the MICT SETA then decided to host a capacity building workshop. We are also mandated by the Department of Higher Education and Training to ensure that we increase access to occupationally directed programs within our sector. And obviously partnering and collaborating with our principal as the Department of Higher Education and Training is one such way that we found would be an opportune path in equipping and capacitating career development practitioners. Now, because of the 4IR, we've also then decided, rather than looking at it from just one regional aspect, it's good that we come out into the Free State. We reach various other provinces as well. But for those that are unable to be here with us in the Free State, we've then also ensured that we are able to provide access to them through virtual means, which is the reason why we've had this hybrid. The program that we are actually going through right now, virtually through all our platforms on YouTube, on Zoom, and our virtual 3D platform called VirtuX. Participants are able to also engage. Participants are also able to follow on the program, and that is obviously us as the MICT SETA taking advantage of some of these technologies. So in essence, as you heard, we have a lot of our other partners within our sector, within our post-education and training ecosystem that are here. They are exhibiting. We do encourage you teachers after the session to just take a walkabout. We've got other seaters that are here that would be able to provide you with booklets, that would be able to provide you as well with resources that you can then be able to take back to the schools and ensure that you're equipping learners well, in their career decision-making process. So this session is in an effort of the MICT SETA wanting to then simulate the live event journey through the 3D platform, through this VirtuX virtual platform that we have access to a higher reach, obviously, of audience. So without further ado, I think I will leave it there and hand over to Mr. Kamohelo Mashilwane from our Department of Higher Education Career Development Services. It's called the Khetha arm, and he will run through the program. The program obviously will be very interactive. We do want a lot of your participation. He wants to understand what your insights are, what your challenges are, and even if you have certain solutions in terms of delivering, the different programs to your learners. The floor is yours. We've got different stations for mics. If you're going to have questions, all you'll do is you'll just stand up and go to a mic. I think they should be on, and then you pose your questions. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you so much, Tabiso. Good morning again. Are you still well? Tea treated you well? You have something in your stomach? Ne? Your attention is revived, your brain is alert. We are going to engage. Is that right? Okay. I hear from the one table I'm going to interact with. The rest, I'm not sure. All right. So for colleagues who are facing the other way, like the gentleman, turn around, turn your chair. Make sure that you have the most comfortable position. Ne? If your chair is facing sideways, please turn it. Ne? So that you look at me and I look at you. Ne? I want to see your eyes. That's how much I'm interested in what you have to say. All right. So colleagues, we are going to go at our program at a rapid pace, ne? At a faster than normal pace so that we meet the time deadline. Ne? So that when you're invited again and they say Khetha is going to be on the floor, you think, those 3 o'clock people, no. Subject coordinator, no, I am busy, I am on sick leave or whatever. Ne? So I promise to honor the time. In response, please also. So if it's your turn on the mic, get straight to the point, make the point, let's move on. Ne? Thank you to the officials who have stayed to enjoy the program as well. We can move over to the next slide. All right, so this is the content that we are going to cover. All right, so I'm going to share about who we are so that you see how we benefit the work that you do. Ne? We are here in service to you. So if you don't understand how we benefit you, it's the point is limited why we are here. So you must understand exactly how you must use us in the future. Ne? We are available to assist, but you need to understand where our limit is, what we are able to do, what we are not able to do. Ne? Some challenges are above my pay grade. All I can do is say, this is what the educators are saying. And that's as far as my power extends. Ne? Some things that are within my power, easy, solvable, you will see the results. Okay? Right. So we are going to briefly touch on the work that we do, but you already are in the field. We are going to breeze through that. We are going to talk about facilitating career development. We've seen that we do a lot of workshops, but the part where you are in the driving force of a career development program, an expo, an information session, still is lacking behind. You would understand that mostly in our schools, we attend an event like this. You are invited, you attend, you go back. Sometimes you think, did I get value for money? Was it worth taking the learners out of the class and so forth? So there still is a gap for you to be the ones who drive and say, this is the exact information we want our learners exposed to. Do you understand? We think this format works for us. So it is in collaboration. So if I come to your school or to the circuit and I say, I'd like to provide a career development session or workshop or expo, you have also influence over the program. You can say, I see how you have planned it, but for me to, with a free conscience and to advocate for your program, this is what I want to see in your program. Yeah? This is the amount of time, these are the type of stakeholders, and then you must hear back from the person, from me, who is requesting attention, who is requesting to get learners out of class and teachers out of the classroom. Yeah? So that part still we need to work on. And then we're just going to touch on what opportunities are available for our learners. Yeah? What exactly do we say to these learners? And then I'm going to give you resources. These are the resources that we have developed to aid the work that you do. So when we speak about subject choice, what resource have we developed to help you? Right? Where can you refer learners before they make their subject choice? They are going to apply and they need to understand themselves. Where do they go? Right? So that it helps you. You can say, before the next class, we are going to be talking about careers. Please go visit this website, do this assessment, come back with the results. Then you are at stage 2. We are not teaching learners from stage 1 how they can get to know themselves and so forth. It helps the work that you do. All right, the next slide. So that is who we are. We are Career Development Services, and we provide counseling, guidance, and information. Yeah? So let's start at the bottom there. Information, it's basically this is what you need, this is where you get it. Yeah? It's in that basic form. And then guidance is a little bit more in depth, right? It's about me understanding where you want to go and so forth, and we provide the tools and resources. And then counseling, we have a counseling wing that is more intense. I cannot provide you from our non-standardized assessments. Ne? From the self-interest questionnaires that we have developed, I see that this learner needs more support when it comes to career development, right? So if the learner requires more in-depth support outside of career development, they are not for us. But if still they are confused, they feel there are barriers that are career-related, then our counseling wing comes in. And then they are our beneficiaries. If you're operating in the career space, next slide, if you're operating in the career space, we want to partner with you, right? It doesn't matter who you are, but if you are operating within that space, if you are sitting here, you are part of a church, part of a community organization, you are running exhibitions, you are talking to the youth, you are talking to the youth who are not in school, you must invite us, all right? At least a month in advance, then we'll be able to attend, okay? All right, so that's our vision. We believe that everybody needs access to quality career development information. Everyone, right? From the beginning of choosing a career. And you'll see that careers they come in way before grade 9. Our children, we ask them early on, what do you see in the future? That already is career development at play, right? So we want to be part of the journey. All the way until you exit. If you say to us, I never want to develop anything career related, I've finished the NQF, I'm at level 10, I have a doctorate, I have a PhD, I'm leaving the field, I want nothing to do with work and so forth, we will let you go. But anywhere in the middle, right? From childhood, this is what I want to do, all the way until you say I am done, we want to be part of the journey with you. If we get that right, we make sure that we feed South Africa with skilled employees, right? We highlight where the opportunities are and so forth. If we get that right, we make sure that we contribute to the growth of the economy, okay? And then that is why we were established. Those are the reasons. There's a high number of learners that don't receive career development information even today, right? So if I were to ask you, when you needed career development information and you received it, would you be sitting in this room today? Think back from when you needed it. Ne? That gap still exists. I could ask, and if we had time, I'd want table by table. Tell me where you'd be. And you'd find that sitting here, there'd be nurses and doctors and engineers and so forth. But there was a lack. There was a gap when you needed the information, right? So that's why we are here, to make sure that we close that gap, so that there is no learner that can say, I never had access to quality career information, therefore I'm enrolling for my first year qualification in a program I don't know. My grandmother says I must go register at Motheo. I got to Motheo and they said, here is NCV engineering, civil infrastructure construction. The student does not exactly know what that is about. They know they'll be enrolled, they'll be studying, it's enough. That is a gap, right? There continues to be a mismatch between demand and supply. You can go and ask your learners. 8 out of 10 of them are going to mention careers that we know, that have been in existence. Ne? There are new careers that we want to hear more about. So if we continue to hear the same careers, it means there is going to be a bottleneck later on. So 10 of them are going to go and enroll for a marketing qualification. How many opportunities are there in Bloemfontein for marketing, right? Where are the opportunities within the space they live in? We need to explore that, all right? High dropout rates are a problem. So when the dropout rate is because you don't gel with the qualification that you do, that is something we can do something about. Other reasons are going to be outside of our scope, ne, as career development services. But if you enroll for a qualification that is not in line with you, that is something we can do something about. The next slide. All right. So how you get a hold of us. So now you want to use us. You want to refer your learners to us. We run a multi-channel platform. It looks something like that. There is a helpline. That's where if a learner receives our number and they send us a please call me, we have an advocacy team. So you say to me, I heard you said you want to come to our school, you want to come to our circuit. Who exactly comes? It would be a colleague from our communications and outreach team, our training and support team. That's the team that we are available on the SABC radio stations. You'll be Sesotho, isiZulu, Afrikaans, English, whatever it is, we are available on that platform as well. Okay, next slide. Right, that's our brand, that's what we believe. We believe that we are going to encourage our learners to make, in choosing well, who dropped out. If they bother you at the school, you know that the school received a 50% pass rate. That other 50% that is not going to make it or that has not made it, what happens to them, right? If you want us to talk to them, maybe you would put them together, you would skills, this is where I get to go and so forth, right? Do you have any questions on this part? It's clear. I'm going to get invites. You understand exactly how we are going to partner with each other. Right. Thank you. Next slide. And then skip again. Right. So career guidance, we offer it in these main 3 ways. There's one-on-one, it's you and the learner. There's information sessions and there are career exhibitions. The reason we've put it there, as I said earlier, you need to decide, right, as a career practitioner, what works for you? What have you seen value in? I know sometimes you don't have control. The circular has come from the circuit, the district, the province. There is nothing you can do. I understand that part. But if there is a way for you to contribute, usually you'd want to impact one of those areas. Okay, next slide. Right. Usually the traditional way for career development has been one-on-one. It's me and you. I get to understand who you are, what you want to do, and then I provide the support. This is not feasible in our daily life, right? Maybe it's possible in other areas. As I said, you are part of a community group. You are afforded the time there, but in school, usually you are very pressed. So one-to-one doesn't help. That's where we come in. You refer the learner to us, we will do the one-on-one over the phone with your learner. Right, next slide. Information sessions. So information sessions, there are tips there for if you want to host one, but we feel it offers you probably the best value as a career practitioner within a school. Ne? This is where I come and I say, I'd like to speak to your learners. I am from Career Development Services. This is what we provide. And then you'd say, okay, I can give you the period that we have life orientation for this week. Right? So it gives me about 45 minutes and so forth to go in depth into the information that I want to present. Ne? That is the best solution. Next. And then most of the time, you will be spending it at exhibitions, right? So exhibitions, again, they are very useful, but probably not for you. Ne? Career exhibitions, I'm trying to spot MICT colleagues. Career exhibitions usually are for me. I have a deadline, I have a target, I must meet 15,000 learners within a space of 6 months. How am I going to do it through an exhibition? But if we were to really be honest about, if you ask your learners, what did you get? Beyond a bag and a pen, it's very difficult to assess impact, right? So this is where you'd say, okay, you want to host an exhibition, all right, let's have a first session where all of the learners, before the hype, before they visit the stalls, they get to hear. Ne? So this is within your power. I need your assistance, right? You unlock the learners. I have a target. So let's meet each other halfway. Next slide. Do you understand so far? Right. So here is the model that we have developed for you as guidance. You have a learner in front of you. You need a tool that is useful, that is user-friendly, that is easy. We have developed Gerard Egan's model for the skilled helper. We feel it is easily translatable into a career session, right? It has a start, it has a defined finish. You can do it with a group or a class. You can say, this is where I am with this group and so forth. It has 3 specific stages, right? The first stage is the current situation, the current scenario. What is the learner saying? What is this group saying to you? Ne? It highlights their need for funding, whatever it is, who they live with, where they want to go, do they have enough information and so forth. That's the first stage. The second stage is where they tell you they want to go, right? I want to become this, I want to do that, and so forth. That is the second stage. And then the third stage are action strategies, actual action strategies. So this part, we like to emphasize, for our educators, because in our effort to provide career development, usually the action strategies are lacking, right? You say, okay, Thabo, this is what you want to do. All right, go and Google UJ. And that is the end of the session. Are you able to follow up on anything? Does Thabo understand then from Googling what must happen? Usually that is lacking. No? Next slide. All right. So the thing we want to note here is that the learner's need is central. That's what we want to emphasize. Yes, you see that the learner is telling you about a career that is saturated, it's full. Everyone has studied it, right? But that is what they need. Yours is to provide an alternative, but don't discourage them from following. But you are not going to shy away from the truth of the world of work they are going into. Next slide. All right. They are the skills that are available for you to sharpen. They look like that. Next slide. All right. So that was the first stage that I'm talking about. So we want to build the relationship with our learners. Ne? This is going to be a career development session. And if that is what you coin it, be protective of that space. That is what that space is going to be for, right? We are going to be discussing about your self-knowledge. Do these learners know themselves? How much do they know themselves, and so forth? Next stage. You can skip again. You can skip again. You can skip again. Right. Stage 2 is then where we brainstorm the various. Skipping, ne? We agreed that we have a deadline we need to reach. Ne? So don't say, that facilitator so lazy. He skipped half of his presentation. It was just a waste of time. We agreed before. Ne? And I see also in the faces that tea and scones had an effect. Ne? Some I'm talking to just bodies. Some I see that there is some sort of interest. All right. So that's stage 2. We want to brainstorm possibilities. How many ways? So this is where you want to go. How many ways to skin this cat? Why you'd skin a cat, I don't know. But English people decided that this is the term we must use. All right. You can skip until stage 3. Right. So stage 3, we want to emphasize that there needs to be a plan, right? We need to plan a pathway to the destination that we are going to discuss later on when I give you the resource. I think that will better explain it. Next. Next one. Next. Yes, next. Next. Any questions on those 3 stages? Do you have any questions? Colleagues. If we were to role play now, you'd be able to apply it. You would. Yes. If I gave you a scenario now and I say, take me to stage 2 of this scenario, you are comfortable, you are confident. I'm not sure. Your faces say, we are not sure. But what shall we say? Right. So the next part is what we actually say to the learners. Ne? What processes are involved when we make career decisions? Thank you. Next one. So each session, if you are going to host an effective career development session, it must speak to those 4 components. You must assist the learner to develop self-knowledge, right? And then the self-knowledge must also lead to an understanding of the world of work. This is who I am. This is what I have to offer, the world of work, right? So where does the gap lie for me? That's the world of work. So we want to match our learners to opportunities that are going to progress, that are going to propel them forward, that are going to lead to jobs. So we provide the information, but we want you to know that where you are potentially going, there is employment or there is no employment, or what are the chances of employment. It's very important. And then what qualification unlocks it? That needs to be part of your session. So this is where you want to go. What qualification? Is it a learnership? Is it a degree at a university? Is it a qualification at a TVET College? And so forth. And then actions, right? What tangible actions that we can assess are needed to get us there. And in the end, the learner must make the choice. The learner must make the choice. You have done everything that you can, they must make the choice. If they come back in October and they say they didn't get accepted anywhere, and you know that you did everything, right? Don't call me in October. Call me in March when the institutions have opened. Ne? We can discuss about possibilities and we can put action plans. If you invite me in September, September, it's very difficult. Ne? When will they gather the documents to apply for NSFAS? It becomes a problem. All right. Another skipping session. Skip. Next one. Next one. Next one. Right. This one is important. As I said, we have seen that there is a gap when we provide career development. There are no career planning tools, right? So on our website, I'll give you our website, we have put in there a platform for planning, right? It's very important. You'll see there is the link on the screen. So that involves self-assessment tools and then a step-by-step guide. It includes videos there. So if you say that you want to become a doctor, on our system we've included there, all right, for this type of doctor, for a neurologist, here is a video so you get to understand the field you're going into. Here is the pathway. So these are the different qualifications that lead to you becoming that professional, right? We provide a description, we provide daily tasks so that the learner knows exactly what they'll be doing day to day, and they are not just fantasizing about a potential paycheck. Ne? Usually the learner, the qualification is directly linked to the amount they think they'll get, very little else. If you say to them, so what would you be doing as a psychologist on a day-to-day basis, they say they'll be reading brains. And they know that 2 streets away, that sister over there did psychology, now they are driving a BMW. That's the extent of the career knowledge, right? So we want to impact that with a plan and fill in the gaps. Fine, you want to become this. Here are the gaps you have in your knowledge. This is how you become it. Here is that person on their daily job and so forth, right? Thank you. Next. Next one. Yeah. Next one. I've covered this one. Any questions? No questions. I like this group. I know. Next one. All right. So we are going to be talking about resources. The next slide. The next one. Right. So just to touch on your knowledge on the options that are available to our learners. Those are the options that are available to our learners. Please make sure that you familiarize yourselves with the possibilities. Ne? This is where your strength as a career practitioner lies. If you lack knowledge of the post-school system, then the advice you'll be giving is going to be very limited. Ne? It's like calling career development services. Our advisors are also that way. There are advisors that are very knowledgeable about the options. They'll give you 5 options. There's a different advisor that only knows 3 options. Those are the options that they are going to give you. All right? So you as a career practitioner, you need to know, even if you don't know the details, but you need to know that there are about 4 major ways to go from where you are in school. Ne? They look like that. There's an academic that leads to grade 12 NQF level 4, and then you go on to an institution of higher learning. There'll be a vocational route, right, that goes through a TVET College, and it looks like that there's a learnership route. You can build your career via learnerships, right? So collaborative efforts with the textbook and experience within a company working, and then you get a qualification that way, and you move over to an NQF level, higher qualification or learnership, and so forth, and you build your career like that. Ne? There are learners that need this information. You know that in this way, this form of learning limits this learner. They benefit more from a little bit of theory, textbook, theoretical knowledge, and a lot of practical experience. They excel in that environment. And learnership is available for them. If we send them to an institution of higher learning, they're still going to battle, right? And then there's an apprenticeship route. It's offered at TVET colleges. I'm not going to go through them. Here's Motheo TVET. Bring your learners, let them learn about these options. Ne? This is the perfect space. Next one. Right. So the PSET system, this is the system that I belong to. You are basic education, right? You are going to send your learners to the post-school education and training space. It looks like that. So there are SETAs, there are TVETs, there are universities and so forth. There are community colleges. You need to make sure that you make friends with your closest community education and training. They used to be called ABET centers or IET centers. Ne? Probably in our communities, there are learners that would benefit from the programs offered there. Ne? If I said to you, there is an amended senior certificate. Ne? I'm trying to also spot the Motheo colleagues. That takes you from getting an NQF level 1 qualification straight into writing a grade 12 equivalent qualification. Ne? It causes a little bit of conflict with the TVET because they offer something similar that could bridge, but there's a different way that allows you to go from there straight to NQF level 4, grade 12 equivalent. What's important there is that one we've highlighted in red, private higher institutions. Within the vicinity of the school, there are colleges that come and they paste their colleges at the gate in October, November. Knowing that half of your learners have not applied, they say they are waiting to see with their grade 12 final results what is possible. Where can you apply with that statement? Very limited. Ne? Applications closed. NSFAS bursary closed. That institution is there. And it will absorb your learners. They will try their hardest to absorb them. So most of those institutions are not registered and the programs are not accredited. Ne? So this is what I do because I am greedy. And I know that career development in your area is lacking, right? So I come to your school and I say, I'm going to offer you a shortcut learner. I'm going to offer you a non-credit bearing 2-year diploma in HR. You want to do HR? Did you apply anywhere? And the learner says no. And I can say, 2 years I can give you that qualification. It's non-credit bearing. Ne? Pay me 1,500 in February. And then come back in March. And then you'll start your classes. When the learner comes back in March, that institution closed long ago. We are selling chips and clothes. Ne? That is a gap that seems to swallow a lot of our learners. So our part is just to know, right? Engage with us. Call us and say, I see that Oxford College or Tshwane private college is pasting. Are they registered and accredited? It will take you one call. I know there won't be 10 posters at the gate. There'll be about 4. No? So that is information that is readily available. You can say, those 4 institutions, if you don't get accepted anywhere, those 4 institutions I have vetted. They are registered and their qualifications are accredited. No? This is the second scam that I run because I'm greedy. I register one institution, ne? Kamogelo College of Education. And I register it in Bloemfontein. We said we're in Bloemfontein, no? Yeah, register it in Bloemfontein. And then I see the influx. There are a lot of learners. And then I open another one in town. And I say, it's fine. It's the same college. Go check. It's registered. You can do HR here. You can do HR there. The truth is that secondary campus might not be accredited. Ne? We know as a department that Bloemfontein, they have the resources, they have the environment is ready for them to teach. We have not assessed that second one. That's why you see a college, they say, okay, you register classes there, but when it's time for exams, we bus you to a different venue. That tells you that that center is not yet accredited. So it doesn't have an exam number. Ne? So if in doubt, give the learner our contact details or just call us also. And find out. Give me the list and say, here are the colleges, here are the qualifications they say they offer. Ne? And then we'll check for you and give you that information. Right? Next one. Next one. All right. Then we have something called the NQF. It's very important for us. It's called the Framework for Qualifications. Ne? Each qualification you're going to do has an NQF level. Right? This is the thing that also creates problems with private colleges. Their NQF levels don't align with Motheo TVET College. But they say they're offering the same qualification. Ne? So it creates barriers. So we need to understand how it works so that we advise our learners that ideally, in a perfect world, you want to move up the framework. Ne? You want to do an NQF level 4. That's your grade 12. It's at NQF level 4. You want to go to a university or to a college and do an NQF level 5 or higher. No? Or if I did a business-related qualification and I want to do an engineering-related qualification, it's fine. I can move horizontally. No? Because I'm entering a different field, I must start maybe at a lower space. Right? I I didn't do pure maths. I did maths literacy, but I know that I want to do engineering. I won't have those minimum requirements. Therefore, I'm going to go a level lower to meet that maths requirement. Then I can advance. Do you understand? Right. So they look like that. I'm not going to go into the councils that assure the qualifications because I don't think you evaluate qualifications, right? Good. Next one. Right. So applications. We want to encourage our learners to apply at least at 2 institutions. 2-3 institutions, 2 or so related qualifications. So if I'm applying for this here, I'm going to apply for an alternative there, right? Unless if the learner shows that the admission point score far exceeds the minimum requirements for the institutions, then chances are they will be accepted wherever they apply. But if the learner just exceeds the admission points requirement of the institution by 1 or 2 points, it means they must vary their applications. Do you understand? So that they maximize their chances. Do you understand? My table, I was counting on you, but now you are letting me down. I see 2-3 nods and faces. The others are gone. All right. So we want to check the admission requirements. We want to make sure that our learners understand admission requirements. I'm not going to go into them. They're available on our website. No? Next one. Next one. Right. This one is a very important component. I cannot pass this one by. No? NSFAS is available for our learners. However, you will see that in the past, for learners who didn't apply by September, October, in January, February, sometimes there's a grace period, the institutions open. They'll say, we'll open for late applications, but only for these 4 qualifications. Right? However, it is only last year that I've seen NSFAS opening for a late application window. So it means this institution is very important to get right because their grace is very limited. Ne? They are going to fund you whatever you need, but you must just meet the application window. It's very important. Right? That's who qualifies. 350,000 per annum combined household income. Ne? And you must be a South African citizen. That's number 1. 2, combined income, 350,000 and above. A few years back, it used to be 223,000. That has been raised. SASSA recipients, they qualify as soon as they punch in their ID number on the My NSFAS portal. It picks up that they are SASSA recipients. It fills out the rest of the information for them, right? It will give them a pre-approval or whatever the case is, right? And then it's available for a first qualification. First qualification only. The loophole there is if you studied at a TVET college and then you want to go to a university, then it will find you at the university. It's the only loophole that I know for now. Ne? Is there another one? Educate me. Did you hear of a different one? No different one. Okay. Thank you. Right. Who does not qualify? Complete opposite. If you wanted me to go through this slide, I'd be very worried about you. Ne? And the capacity you are using. Thank you. Next. What does it cover? It will cover mostly everything that is school related. Ne? So your learners need to understand if they go to UNISA, they can apply for accommodation. UNISA doesn't have accommodation, right? So they were protesting, you remember a few years back, wanting accommodation from UNISA. But UNISA never promised anyone that they have a res. I don't remember. There's the number for NSFAS and the portal that they use. It's important before November. That's why early applications are so crucial, so that your second application for NSFAS is done on time. Ne? Sometimes it's a lengthy process. You submit your proof of income, they'll say they want an affidavit or whatever, or they'll say, no, we see your father here on the system, your father is earning 600,000, right? But the learner knows that the father is up. It's a whole debacle. So that's why we want, as soon as NSFAS opens around August, the learner submits that application. That's why we want our learners, grade 12s, to be applying in April. Ne? We want them to be applying. That's why we want to prepare grade 11s. Those are the crucial people. Usually we neglect them, we invite grade 12s. But grade 12s already, they've missed half the deadline. They have written grade 11, not knowing that those results would be crucial. So we need to plug that gap. No? We need to plug that grade 11 gap. If there's an exhibition, include your grade 11s. They are vital to the process. Thank you. Next. Admission requirements. Next. Next one. Right. So there are 3 different types of admission. So when we cover admission requirements, usually we are very good with AP scores. But NPT, we rarely ever touch. No? It's important. It becomes a hurdle, a stumbling block for our applicants. And then there is the address for the NPT. Do we know how it works? Who writes it? You write it. Okay, UFS has NPT for all their programs. Okay. And where do I go write it? Okay. And how much is it? Is it free? It's free. Yes, it's free. It's free. The one who says it's free, please plug me now. Right. There is a fee attached to it, ne? So it's very important. So this is all information we want to cover as early as possible. Thank you. Next one. That's the admission point score. That's how you calculate it. We know it by now. Ne? I'll accept your yes today. How I wish I had you for the day. We were going to see. We were going to assess. My rubric would be ready. Next one. And then NP2, we've covered that. There are the details. Next one. This presentation, because we're going through it rapidly, I'm going to give it to Qabiso from MICT, who will be communicating with the officials, I'm guessing, so that you go through it and see if there are any gaps you want to plug and so forth, right? Or if the officials want to go through it in depth with you. And there was silence and blank stares. Okay, here are our career resources. The first one is NCAP. NCAP stands for the National Career Advice Portal. That is a one-stop tool for your learner. The NCAP does exactly what a career practitioner would do. From a learner logging on and being completely confused about possible careers, subject choices, and so forth, NCAP is loaded with that information. For a learner who's confused about what they want to do, they get onto NCAP, there will be a tab that says career choice. They click on it, they register their details so that they have access to their results at a later date. They fill out a questionnaire, right? Our in-house psychologists have put it together. It's comprehensive and it takes time, right? It takes time, it's comprehensive, but it will offer them the knowledge. For the subject choice learners, before we make them choose subjects, let them go on NCAP and do the subject chooser configuration so that they add and see for themselves. So you say to the learners, this school offers these 4 streams, or this school offers these 3 streams. Go on to NCAP and put the streams as the school has put them and see if your career pops up so that if there are gaps, we can talk to them. No? Do you understand? So if you have commerce, usually we say general and what's the other one? It's commerce, it's engineering. What's the other one? Sciences. Right. Only one educator said sciences. Only one. I saw him, and it's a him. Right? So the rest, I'm not worried. So we have a website as well. There's our website. Our website is useful because it has a chat window. That's for your grade 12s. For quick, immediate response. They can chat to me Monday to Friday business hours. As soon as you log on, there'll be a chat window. Most websites have a chat facility now. You know how it works. Then they can ask, I want to do this. I'm not sure how to go about applying. I've reached a stumbling block with NSFAS. This is the issue, right? Or I have put in my money at this private college. I'm not sure. I'm nervous. And then we can respond. It's quick. It's a quick service, right? And then there's a post-school guide. Post-school guide is the resource I have here. Make sure before you leave, you collect one. Ne? It has everything that we feel you need. It's in this book. All the private, if you are not sure which institution is private and which is public, the public ones, we've included them there. If the institution is not there, the learner must know that they must pay. NSFAS is not going to fund them. Ne? All the SETAs, according to their configuration, are there. All 21 of them. Ne? So if you want to refer a learner who wants to work in the retail space, ne? You see that this learner has a passion for retail, but their academics are not the best. So maybe a learnership could work for them. That SETA is available. Let's see what is possible. Ne? I'm not saying that SETA is going to offer the answers you are looking for. I'm saying they are there. All right, and then there's a career plan guide and an apply now booklet. All of these publications are on our website. Go to our website. On the left, you'll see publications. They're available for download. Ne? You can take pieces of them and see what works for you. Practitioner guide that has that model I was speaking about, how to encourage self-knowledge. All of it is there. Right? So in essence, I fooled you into inviting me. Everything was already there. But we know that you don't check. All right, next one. I'm joking. Next one. That's our website. Next one. It looks like that. And then there are the publications next. There's the chat facility I was talking about. Oh, no, I'm not blocking anyone. Next one. And then there's NCAP. I was talking about it. Looks like that. If you land on NCAP and it doesn't look like that, chances are it is not the one. Ne? Next one. And then the questionnaires would look something like that. Next. Next, you can search for, it's simply to search for any qualification within the country. Ne? If it's a registered qualification within South Africa, it's on NCAP. We use the OFO, ne? The Framework for Occupations. They told us what qualifications are registered in South Africa and we put them on the NCAP. Ne? And because the qualifications are changing, therefore the NCAP must change along as well. That's why some qualifications, we've done the research, it's concluded there's a video. If another qualification is still undergoing development, you'll see, we'll say there's no further information and probably we've not gotten to a video, right? Because usually the IT nerds also are very camera shy. So to get them to tell you what cyber defense is becomes a mission. Next one. Next one. Those are questionnaires. Information Hub. Information Hub is for you as a career practitioner. If there is a qualification available for career practitioners, we load it there. Bursaries related, we load them there. If there is an issue that a career practitioner had in DR, ne? And they didn't have the solutions for, they would load it onto the community of practice. And other practitioners would say, this is how I approached it when I encountered such. So, community of practice. Next one. It's a continuation. Next. Next. That's also a continuation. So those are our contact details. Right? So for your learners, that 072 number is for SMS or please call me. They send a please call me to that 072 number. We call them back. It takes us about 3 days, ne, for us to get back to them. But because we know that the learners usually, business hours are school hours, right? By the time we call them, chances are they are in school. So that works best for out-of-school youth. The SMS service works best for them. For the learners, I'd say Facebook. They get to put in their inquiry there. We are there to respond. For call, you can call that 086 number. We are available there, or any of those platforms. Do you understand, colleagues? Next one. I'm good. Next one. All right. Okay. It's exactly 12:30 on my watch. Right? I am that good. I know. You see that I deserved that gift earlier. I know. Thank you so much, colleagues. Thank you for bearing with us until the end of the day. I hope the rest of the 30 minutes that's left, you can still go to the marquees and question them. Ne? Really grill them. They deserve it. You were kind to me. Go get them. Ne? Let them answer all your questions. What are the new careers that are available? And you must look them in the eye. And then they must tell you. All right? Yes. Okay. Yes. Yeah, thank you. So after this, please come to this table, grab a book, and maybe about 5-10 business cards, just so that you have them handy. All right? Thank you so much for your time, colleagues. Enjoy the rest of your day.